This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. We're being told it was the Prime Minister who urged the police to seek outside help in their CID probe. Police Commissioner Fernandez says he went on the Prime Minister's recommendation on the matter. Taylor Casey's family accusing the police of not doing enough to find her, holding a press conference. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Friday, July 12th, 2024. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. We'll have a lot more of what's making news on this Friday morning. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you're sleeping and the top national and international headlines this morning.
Wake up, it's a new day.
In the overnight, we're being told it was Prime Minister Philip Davis's recommendation to Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez to involve international partners to investigate voice recordings about alleged corruption in the Criminal Investigation Department of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the Office of the Prime Minister. Saying this yesterday, OPM said when asked about the matter, quote, the Prime Minister strongly recommended to the Commissioner that international partners be considered to assist with the investigation. Given that RBPF is independent, the Prime Minister cannot direct the investigation, but based on the Commissioner's announcement last Friday, the recommendation was taken into consideration and pursued. The Prime Minister indicated recently that he spoke to the Commissioner about the matter. On Monday, Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez announced that the Security and Intelligence Branch of the Force was overseeing an investigation into the voice recordings, which were leaked online by a whistleblower on Facebook last week. Fernandez said international entities from the U.S. and U.K. will also assist in the investigation to ensure the probe is independent, impartial, and fair. Last Friday, after the recordings went viral, Fernandez announced that Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson, who headed CID, had gone on leave pending the investigation. While on leave, he will receive his full pay and benefits. The recordings purportedly involve a man identified as a wanted suspect named Mikey, They purportedly revealed the man in separate conversations attempting to negotiate with two men about turning himself in and what it would cost for him to be released after he's questioned. The Facebook user who shared the recordings and has shared other alleged acts of corruption in the force was shot inside his Florida apartment Monday night as he was streaming live on Facebook. National Security Minister Wayne Monroe told The Guardian on Sunday he is confident the police can manage the investigations. Family and friends of Taylor Casey, a 41-year-old American who went missing in the Bahamas 3 weeks ago, accused Bahamian authorities of not making enough effort to locate her, suggesting that this is because of her identity as a black transgender woman. Precious Brady Davis, a commissioner of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, said matters involving LGBTQ community members are not given enough attention. She was speaking during the press conference in Chicago yesterday. Casey, who traveled to the Bahamas to attend the Sivananda Ashram yoga retreat on the western end of Paradise Island, was last seen on the night of June 19th on the property. She was reported missing the following day after she did not show up for classes. The police force says it has launched an aggressive search effort, which has included divers, the K-9 unit, and drone surveillance. Casey's American passport has also not been found, but police found her phone in more than 50 feet of water off Paradise Island. Two women involved in a jet ski accident. They were both injured Wednesday in waters off New Providence. The accident involved a jet ski and a banana boat. According to reports, around 5:30 p.m., the women, ages 24 and 27, were on the banana boat off Goodman's Bay when a jet ski being operated by an unidentified man collided with them. Women were thrown off the banana boat and suffered head injuries. Emergency medical services transported them to the hospital, where their conditions unknown at this time. Police say that they were searching for the operator of that jet ski. And investigations continue into the country's latest homicide. A man found shot dead in a car with stolen license plates. This was on West Avenue in Gibbs Corner early yesterday morning. Police received reports of a man slumped in the vehicle around 4 a.m. near a primary school. When they arrived at the scene, officers found the deceased in the driver's seat with gunshot wounds to his head. He was wearing a white undershirt, black pants, and a pair of black gloves. The silver Nissan Note had bullet holes in the driver's side window. Police saying, quote, it appeared as though something took place in that vehicle. That's according to Chief Superintendent Anton Ramming, the officer in charge of CID. Again, police say that two separate plates were attached on the vehicle and that one of those plates was stolen. Overseas, U.S. President Joe Biden facing a test Thursday that he had avoided so far this year, a solo news conference with questions from the White House press corps. The news conference was meant to reassure a disheartened group of Democratic lawmakers, allies, and persuadable voters in this year's election that Biden still has the strength and stamina to be president. Biden has tried to defend his feeble and tongue-tied performance in the June 27th debate against Republican Donald Trump as an outlier rather than evidence that at 81 years old he lacks the vigor and commanding presence that the public expects from the commander-in-chief. He made at least two notable flubs yesterday, referring at an event beforehand to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as President Putin, and then calling Kamala Harris Vice President Trump when asked about her by a reporter. But he also gave detailed responses about his work to preserve NATO and his plans for a second term, and he insisted he's not leaving the race even as a growing number of Democratic lawmakers ask him to step aside. And the U.S. Biden administration sanctioned a Venezuelan gang allegedly behind a spree of kidnappings, extortion, and other violent crimes tied to migrants that have spread across Latin America and the United States. The U.S. also offered a $12 million reward for the arrest of 3 leaders of Tren de Aragua which now joins the MS-13 gang from El Salvador and the mafia-style Camorra from Italy on the list of transnational criminal organizations banned from doing business in the U.S. The trend to Aragua traces its origins to more than a decade ago to an infamously lawless prison in the central state of Aragua, where a number of hardened criminals were held. But it has expanded in recent years as millions of desperate Venezuelans fled President Nicolas Maduro's rule and migrated to other parts of Latin America or the U.S. Speaking of Maduro, his smile is confident, his hair well-combed, and his eyes squinting slightly. The first candidate you'll likely see on the ballot in Venezuela's upcoming presidential election is Nicolas Maduro, the incumbent seeking re-election. Unlike some of his 9 challengers, Maduro shows up not once or twice, but a whopping 13 times on the ballot. And he's certain to watch the voters' attention, or to catch their attention. Each time it's for one of the several political groups he is representing in the highly anticipated July 28th presidential election. Maduro takes up the entire first part of the ballot's 4 rows, while the rest of the candidates' photos are sprinkled here and there, including that of a former diplomat, the only contender with real chances of denying the president a 3rd term. Venezuela facing its toughest electoral test in decades, the outcome could give Maduro another 6 years in power or end the self-described socialist policies that once successfully boosted anti-poverty programs, but whose sustained mismanagement later pushed the country into an ongoing economic crisis. And people in the Southeast Caribbean urgently need food, water, and shelter nearly 2 weeks after Hurricane Beryl crushed the region as a Category 4 storm. Officials are pleading for at least $9 million in assistance from the international community. Thousands of people across Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines were left homeless by the storm, which killed at least 7 people and destroyed schools, businesses, and livelihoods in the archipelago. Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Ralph Gonsalves, saying, quote, "Together they constitute Beryl's Armageddon. In just a few hours, entire islands were decimated. There's nothing there. The housing, public facilities, the shoreline, the fisheries, tourism infrastructure, they are basically no more." Speaking during a news conference with his voice breaking, Beryl set a record for the first ever Category 4 storm in June in the Atlantic, making landfall July 1st on Caracou in Grenada and swiping nearby islands. The hurricane, just shy of a Category 5, crushed power grids, destroyed water systems, and killed livestock and fishing equipment that many in impoverished communities on affected islands depend on for a living. Prime Minister of Grenada, Dickon Mitchell, noted that Beryl destroyed 90% of all buildings on several Grenadian islands, including hospitals and airports. The United Nations joining the plea for help, noting that $5 million of the $9 million requested would go to Grenada and the remainder to St. Vincent and the Grenadines in a bid to help a total of 43,000 people. In sports, former Bahamian Olympic boxer Toriano Reno Johnson, renowned for his impressive professional win-loss draw record of 21-3-1, with 15 of those by way of knockout, now setting his sights on a new challenge, leading the Bahamas Boxing Federation as its president. In a recent interview, Johnson outlined his motivation, vision, and plans for the future, reflecting on his storied career. Johnson, who's been involved in boxing for about 37 years, telling it all to Guardian Sports section. Pick up today's paper to get the details. And Ken Mullings has made history as the first Bahamian to qualify for the multi-events of the Olympics. His journey marked by some key moments. Mullings sharing his insights into his preparation as well in today's Guardian Sports section. From tennis, Jasmine Paolini kept coming back against Donna Vikic in what would be the longest Wimbledon women's semifinal on record after dropping the opening set after being 2 games from defeat in each of the last 2 sets after twice trailing by a break in the third. And all the while, Paolini kept telling herself, quote, try point by point and fight for every ball. Paolini never had won a match at the All England Club until last week, and now will participate in her second consecutive Grand Slam final thanks to rollicking 2-6, 6-4, 7-6, 10-8 victory over unseeded Vikic in 2 hours, 51 minutes on center court. And Uruguay players defending their decision to enter the stands following a 1-0 loss to Colombia in the Copa America semifinals, saying the action was necessary to defend families and supporters. After a physical and emotional game that included 7 yellow cards and 1 red card, players exchanged words and shoves at midfield of Bank of America Stadium on Wednesday night. Uruguay players, including Darwin Nunez, noticed an altercation behind the team's bench, and about a dozen or so players then climbed into the stands as the melee continued. Some players were seen throwing punches before police officers and stadium security restored order after about 10 minutes. CONMEBOL, South America's soccer's governing body, saying that its disciplinary committee has opened an investigation into the matter. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your weather for today, we've got the combination of a surface trough just north of the Bahamas interacting with a mid to upper level low east of the area, along with the northern extent of a tropical wave passing south of the Bahamas. This will generate cloudiness along with showers and thunderstorms across the islands today. Surface high pressure will maintain moderate to occasionally fresh winds across the archipelago as well. Again, we're expecting another very hot day, and due to heat indices expected in the triple digits and UV indices also expected to be in the moderate to high range, everyone's being advised to remain hydrated, limit outdoor activities, and wear loose-fitting clothing and sunscreen when outdoors during peak daytime hours. Boaters should be alert for potential waterspout or funnel cloud activity, and there is a threat for a few isolated but strong thunderstorms. For today, your forecast for the northwest and central Bahamas, partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy, warm and humid with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, becoming variably cloudy tonight with isolated showers possible. Gusty winds and higher seas expected in showers and thunderstorms. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet. For the southeast Bahamas, a mix of sun and clouds today, warm and breezy with isolated showers and thunderstorms through tonight. Small craft operators should exercise caution. Gusty winds and higher seas expected in showers and thunderstorms. Winds easterly at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet. Temperature-wise, we're looking at highs getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. Currently in Nassau, it's about 78 degrees. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook and a look at the tropics coming up after traffic in just a bit. It's time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
to Scotia Plan Loan Summer. With Scotiabank, you can chase your summer vacation, swing into your home renovation, and slide on back to school with ease. Apply for your Scotia Plan loan and benefit from competitive rates, flexible loan terms, and no payments for up to 2 months. Tick off your to-do list this summer and apply for a Scotia Plan loan today.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Cades Village, or call 396-1100.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL. Growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Living with a neurological condition shouldn't define you. At Cleveland Clinic in Florida, we do whatever it takes to make life better today while discovering new treatments for a brighter tomorrow. From epilepsy management to specialized spine care and brain tumor surgery, we're delivering world-class neurology care for the day-to-day, for the days you live for every care in the world. Visit clevelandclinicflorida.org/Caribbean.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Attention Bahamas. Embark on an inspiring voyage with 2 new books by Hubert Ingram, our remarkable 3-time PM. Learn of his exceptional leadership in steering the nation through local and international storms. These books are a treasure for all Bahamians. Are you into history or seeking inspiration? Then this is a must-read. Available at Dungalik, Logos, the National Art Gallery, and Chapter 1. Get your copies today. Be inspired by a legacy of wisdom and vision.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan with you on this Friday morning. We've got a lot to talk about. A lot's happening in the news. I want to get through it all. I want to get your reaction to it all throughout the morning here on this week that we celebrated independence. But something's going on. Something's in the air. I don't know if it's the temperature, but the place seems to be on full boil. Do you get that feeling? Let's talk about it right now in the news. And in the news, big headline in the paper, Prime Minister urged outside help in CID probe. Police Commissioner Fernando pursued the Prime Minister's recommendation on the matter. That's what the Office of the Prime Minister is saying. I know when we talked about this earlier in the week, not everybody seemed to be in agreement that we should welcome outside assistance into this investigation into the police force. Some even said that would imply that we were a failed state. I wish they would call back this morning to say that again. But we're going to get into that a little bit in just a little bit. But there's a lot of other stuff happening in the news. Want to get to this. Like I said earlier, it just seems like everybody might need to calm down a little bit. Where maybe it's the temperatures, the Saharan dust is clouding everyone's brains. I don't know, but this has been quite a week, and for a country of this size, this is a whole lot of stuff going on. It really is very sad. A lot of it is tragic. All right, so here are some of the stories we didn't hear about just now in the overnight, but so many things going on. So in Grand Bahama, they're investigating a terrible incident, a toddler dying after drowning. A 1-year-old boy died in the hospital a day after reportedly falling into a bucket. Tribune writing about this. Detective Superintendent Darrell Weir said police received a report on July 4th from the Rand Memorial Hospital concerning a 1-year-old brought in for medical attention. He said parents told doctors the child had fallen into a bucket at their home on Frobisher Drive. The child died in the hospital on July 5th. Police say investigations are continuing and they're waiting for the results of an autopsy to determine the cause of death. So we told you about the murder yesterday. A man found dead in a car with stolen license plates attached to it on West Avenue and Gibbs Corner in Centerville. Early yesterday, police received reports of a man slumped in the vehicle around 4 a.m. near a primary school. When they arrived at the scene, officers found the deceased in the driver's seat with gunshot wounds to the head. He was wearing a white undershirt, black pants, and black gloves. The silver Nissan Note had bullet holes in the driver's side window, according to Chief Superintendent Anton Ramming, officer in charge of the Criminal Investigation Department. Speaking at the scene, he said, quote, "It appears as though something took place in that vehicle. Further examination revealed that the vehicle had 2 separate plates attached. On checking, we were able to determine that one of those plates was stolen." Ramming, asking anyone in the area at the time of the shooting to contact police. He said the unidentified victim appears to be in his late or early 30s. Okay, well, that's in his 30s then, right. Ramming could not say if police suspect this shooting would be connected to another incident that took place on Melbourne Road in the Yellow Elder Gardens area earlier. Police say a man was shot in that community around 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday after he arrived home. The occupants of a gray Japanese vehicle approached him as he exited his car and shot him. That man, 36 years old, was wounded to the head and was taken to the hospital. His injury is said to not be life-threatening. And the police are busy. The police are also investigating a stabbing that took place around 11 p.m. on Wednesday. Police say that a 28-year-old man stabbed a 36-year-old man at a bar on Soldier Road in a fight, leaving both men with injuries. And that's Wednesday. That means Independence Day, the holiday. That's when that happened. They were taken to the hospital, and the 28-year-old was being questioned by police. Wow, right? Just a lot. A lot. And when we told you about that, the two injured at sea, the two women injured at sea on a banana boat that collided with a jet ski. Police looking for the operator of that jet ski. We also heard that there's some people missing boaters. Police in Andros searching for 4 people following a boating incident that occurred on Thursday around 2 a.m. Initial reports indicate that a vessel with 8 passengers on board was traveling from Ocean Key to Eleuthera when the vessel began taking on water 9 miles north of Morgan's Bluff, Andros, which resulted in the vessel sinking. Local fishermen rescued 4 men, including, the numbers aren't adding up. But anyway, they rescued 4 Hondurans and 1 Haitian. But the remaining 4 people, including the captain, have not been located. The Bahamas Defense Force and the U.S. Coast Guard are assisting with the search and rescue efforts. What a week. What a week, folks. I don't know what to say. Be careful out there. Something is in the air. Something is in the air. Yesterday, you heard about this very sad story. A young boy being found dead in his home in a state of decomposition. Family members are speaking out now about this, trying to bring some clarity to the situation, but it's still quite confusing. Take a listen to this very sad story from our Jared Higgs.
Easy for I know it's not going to be easy for because how world is going.
The 8-year-old boy who was found in a state of decomposition in a Kelly Lane home is Christopher Christie, according to his uncle. 39-year-old Tony Curry says he got the dreaded call from his mother on Tuesday.
My nephew was a happy-go-lucky person. I would have never expect anything like to say like what it was like when I came here. You know, I didn't expect that.
According to police, they got a call at around 12:45 on Tuesday afternoon about a deceased child at a residence on Kelly Lane. When officers arrived, they discovered 8-year-old Christopher dead in a state of decomposition. His 28-year-old mother was taken into custody on Tuesday. She was released this afternoon.
The body was in a state of, yes, decomposure. It was in a state, all right? It wasn't like all the way, you know, but it, you know, it started to. It started to, you know. Like, when I saw him, it was like, whoa, okay, this is really serious, you know.
The heartbroken uncle says both his sister and nephew were ill. He says there was no abuse involved.
At the time, him and his mom, they had that stomach virus what was going around, and they wasn't eating. Whatever they tried to eat, it wasn't staying down. If they drink water, Gatorade, nothing they put down was actually staying down. Nothing, or they tried to eat or drink, nothing was staying down.
With Christopher's body found in a state of decomposition, questions have been raised about why it took so long for authorities to be notified. Curry says he believes heat played a factor in the body's decomposition.
Because it was already hot, you know. It was already hot, you know. So that heat, and you know, she had the AC on and anything, and you know, she always keep her windows closed. So that's a normal thing, you know. She always keep her windows closed. So that heat and that heat did the part.
Curry described his nephew as jovial and said he liked to beat drums and play outside with his friends. He said his younger sister was a devoted mother.
Through her, I know what is a real mother love. Honestly, through her, not my mom, through my sister, I found out what is real motherly love, you know. She would give her all and all, you know. I mean her all and all to my nephew, trust me.
We spoke to Curry at the home his mother, sister, brother, and nephew shared on Kelly Lane. Urban renewal officials also visited and prayed with the family.
No words can actually explain that. No words. So, in a way, I know where she's coming from, what she's feeling like. To say, oh, her world, you know. The one thing that she really lived for and worked for is gone. Like, so what she's here for now? Like, what she's in this world for now? Honestly, like, I know what she's feeling. I know what she's feeling.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Jared Higgs.
Wow. Condolences to the family. Just don't know what to say. Just not really understanding the situation either. If you're that sick, for God's sake, try to get some help. Get to a clinic. Get to the hospital. Call somebody. But wow. Let's get your reaction, folks, to all these things so far. We've got a lot more to talk about with just very unusual incidents going on in the country. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. So all that's happening, and then we've got this story. I haven't heard about this one, but this is disturbing as well. This is in the Tribune again today. This person says, this is the article. Grand Bahama police took 2 men into custody after the social media circulation of a video showing an adult male having sex with a young girl. The men, aged 43 and 41, are being questioned and assisting police in connection with the matter. One of the men had sex with the girl. The other was associated with the incident. The minor involved is believed to be between 16 and 17. Assistant Commissioner of Police Shanton Knowles, the officer in charge of Grand Bahama, says because the girl is of legal age of consent, an unlawful sexual intercourse charge would not apply. But she said police are consulting the Department of Public Prosecutions concerning other possible charges in connection with the incident. In the video, a man drives to a location. He then gets out and walks over to the next side of the vehicle where the girl is seated, and they both engage in sexual activity. ACP Knowles said the teen was interviewed in the presence of her parents and a representative from the Department of Social Services. Police expect to bring closure to the matter following consultations with the DPP today. ACP Knowles said police acted to protect the young girl after the video came to their attention. She advised people with the video to refrain from circulating it and to delete it. She noted that it's against the law to disseminate such videos involving children. Knowles saying, quote, they can be prosecuted if they are found in possession of them. These are children, and they deserve to be children as much as possible, and no one should take advantage of their vulnerability. And we see that in this case. But we certainly encourage young people not to fall prey to anyone who wants to offer them money for things like this, and to be careful of those cellular phones and other devices that can record them in these kinds of situations. Social worker Charlie Simmons of the Child Services Unit said the Department of Social Services is mandated to assist the police and report matters to ensure the well-being of children. She also said they are assisting by counseling the teen. I don't know what's going on. It's like everybody's losing control of their senses. Explain it, folks. What's happening here? What are we doing? Why are we trying to destroy this place? And these are people who should know better, right? And everybody's recording all the nonsense they're doing. And what is happening? Give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Caller, good morning, you're on the air.
Hey, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Dwight, you know, we need to pay a closer attention to the songs that we sing, the music we listen to. You know, listen to this. Total destruction is the only solution. Everywhere is war. I mean, this kind of programming is really not good for the subconscious mind, you know, because it makes you careless. What happened to classical music that causes you to think and feel the the rhythm of life. That seems to be lacking. I mean, I hear people playing music passing my house every day, and I don't understand what they're listening to. So maybe we need to look at the programming that we're giving our mind. That could go a long way to healing yourself, Dwight.
I hear you, but when people talk about that, they're branded all manner of things. But you are correct. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, I think, because I am pretty sure you would find that I listen to classical music. You'll find that persons who listen to that kind of music spend more time in their head than outside their head or trying to get into somebody else's head. And rule them with jig. Come on, man.
Well, I know you always have very interesting things to say, interesting theories, but what do you think is happening? This has been an unusual week, unusual start to the month, even for the Bahamas. Just a whole lot of wild things going on. I was just speaking to a colleague who's been away for a few weeks and was following the news abroad, and he said he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it. He was in the States. Couldn't believe what he was hearing from his tiny little country. Just like he felt even safer over there, of all places. What's going on? I know Jupiter. Is it Jupiter? With the stars doing something crazy? What's happening?
Let me help you with this then. Stephen Hawking, he talked about, I'm sure you know about terraforming, where Mars is the only planet right now where you can actually rebirth, get rid of the greenhouse effect and make it a green place for us to live. And scientists are looking at that possibility because we need to escape this one. All right, and there's so much. That's from the cosmological point of view, and to bring it home, I'm glad my mommy bathed me off first before everybody else bathed in the water, because I would have been totally contaminated if I was the last one in the water. That's another issue. But no, Beside all of that, right? The bottom line is we need to really, really look at the powers that's within us, the power of awareness, the power of clarity, the power of creation, and the power of balance. We don't teach that in school. Those are 4 powers that we have. Who walking around here trying to create anything? And, Dwight, I have created something that I want to show you that will solve all this problem, but you just can't be afraid to see it. I told you about it a long time ago. So whenever I see you in person, you'll say, guess what? This fella got the solution for the world.
You can't share a little something right now with the people?
It's called Voltgasm.
What now?
I just told you the name of it.
What is that?
Voltgasm. When I see you, don't be afraid.
Oh boy, it's too late. But okay, all right. Thanks a lot. My goodness. Continue to call in 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. All right, let's get to some of your text messages. This person says here, we have a serious problem with so many vehicles being unregistered with no license plates. This is becoming more and more prevalent. What happened to keeping the same plate for life? This is causing problems on our streets. Well, that is too, but, the bigger problem is that the departments responsible for the plates can't seem to make them or keep them in stock or anything. I mean, what's going on? Right? And there's no explanation. When was the last time they talked about this? Months ago? There's been no update. We don't know what's happening. And everybody's just fine seeing half the cars on the streets without plates now because they're just so used to it. This is chaos. And then maybe that's part of the problem. This person says here, that we just talked about that, the issue in Grand Bahama with this video. This person says here, I saw the Miami Herald ran a story on the Facebook live streaming shooting. Yeah, they did. It's finally making the rounds. I guess since it took the police 2 days to issue a statement, the media's getting around to it. It's funny how we could send police to Turks and Caicos to help them with their crime problem, but it's a problem if law officials come here to help us. It's only a problem to people who want it to be a problem. Many of us were saying we definitely needed independent people who are not affiliated or associated with anybody here to take a look. A lot of people were saying that. And the texter goes on to say, if we are so honest and trustworthy, why are Crime Stoppers numbers not answered in the Bahamas? He sent this yesterday. It's just because people know how the nature of people, right? And people like to talk in a small town, very much so. So, but they do that in many other places as well. This person says, I haven't seen the video, but based on what I've heard, oh gosh. I think we need to go into this. But yeah, but they do say that wasn't she a consenting non-minor? Yes, that's what the police say. But they seem to be suggesting that there's some sort of I don't know how to put this. Something against somebody's will. Let's just put it like that, it seems. When I heard the story, it did not sound like a case of abuse. You're talking about the young boy. Nobody stays in the house with a decomposing body, and perpetrators generally attempt to hide their crime. I wondered if the child had died suddenly and the mother had some psychological break and did not want to let go of the child's body. This makes sense to me, but the real story may be something else. Well, we'll see. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you doing?
Doing well.
I was listening to the story about the little boy about on the news just now. I also had the stomach virus and didn't understand what I had. I just thought my stomach was loose. Now that I hear people talking about this virus, I'm wondering if because the young man spoke about Gatorade and trying to rehydrate the body and all that. I'm wondering if, because we have this fear of going to the hospital and staying for hours before we're seen, that somebody said in their mind they probably could rectify that problem right at home. And now I'm seeing how serious it is, because I had it also and not knowing what I had. So I'm wondering if it came out of fear of going to the hospital and sitting there for hours. The mother just said, this will pass. That's just food for thought.
Yeah, it's quite possible. Very sad. Very sad. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We're all wondering. Hopefully we'll learn more about what happened here. My goodness gracious. Okay. All right, so before we take a break, let's get into this story. That's the lead in the paper today, the Nassau Guardian. PM urged outside help in CID probe. Our Travis Cartwright-Cow writing about it. It was Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis's recommendation to Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernander to involve international partners in the investigation into voice recordings about alleged corruption in the CID, Criminal Investigation Department. The Office of the Prime Minister saying this yesterday when asked about the matter, saying, quote, the Prime Minister strongly recommended to the Commissioner that international partners be considered to assist with the investigation. Given that RBPF is independent, the Prime Minister cannot direct the investigation, but based on the Commissioner's announcement last Friday, the recommendation was taken into consideration and pursued. The Prime Minister indicated recently that he spoke to the Commissioner about the matter. As you know by now, of course, Monday, Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernander announced that the Security and Intelligence Branch of the Force was overseeing the investigation into the voice recordings which were leaked online by a whistleblower on Facebook last week. Fernander also said that international entities from the U.S. and U.K., which he did not name, will assist in the investigation to ensure the probe is, quote, independent, impartial, and fair. He said, quote, rest assured the investigation is being vigorously pursued. It will not disappear out the back door. Last Friday, after the recordings went viral, Fernander announced that Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson, who headed CID, had gone on garden leave pending the investigation. While on leave, he will receive his full pay and benefits. And as you probably know by now, the recordings purportedly involved a man identified as a wanted suspect named Mikey. They purportedly revealed the man is in separate conversations attempting to negotiate with two men about turning himself in and what it would cost for him to be released after he's questioned. And of course, the Facebook user who shared the recordings and shared other alleged acts of corruption in the force, he was shot while inside his Florida apartment on Monday night as he was streaming live on Facebook. This is the wildest story of the year so far. But let's get your reaction to it. The Prime Minister had said it before that he felt that there could be some international assistance here. Again, on what day was that? Monday, Tuesday, people were not entirely in agreement with us. It was Monday, Deandra and I were saying that we didn't see an issue with this. We had some people saying that would mean that we are a failed state. And of course, I said that would only be if we handed over the force to those individuals, which that is not what is being suggested here. But let's get your reaction to it now. Are we too small to truly impartially investigate these type matters? Let's hear from you. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Caller, you are on the air. Good morning.
Hey, morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
All of that you just said. I think we're just going through identity crisis because, all of the events are pretty much connected. We just had Independence Day, 51 years young, and the fabric of our identity is still unknown, I have a question for you, though. Do we have a younger population or older population? Do you know? The census, does that?
It's relatively young. We are aging, but it's relatively young.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. So it just reflects on what's going on. When you were young, you did crazy things. I was young, we go into that space that we didn't know who we were.
I really didn't. But okay. But as people did,
Nobody, I don't think anybody knew, unless they were just savant or something. But the point of the matter is, Dwight, I went to the tattoo. A lot of people did. It wasn't the same. The show and the production was phenomenal. It's actually getting better every year.
Mm-hmm.
But the response, the pride.
Yeah.
It's, everybody's trying to be an individual in themselves.
What do you think that's about? Why do you think that's happening?
Just to boil all that, I think it's like a TikTok culture, maybe technology. Some philosophers say with every advancement and every new technology, the lifespan is decreased. So we have a sense of less time to live, so we have to show who we are before that time expires. We're fading away. It's nothing that gives us the attention anymore, like how we used to be. But again, if we just go back to everything that's going on, all the events, even though they're just different events, there's a drowning here and the event with the child being decomposed in the house, and even with the police officer, it's just, these are crazy things. Where the society isn't attached. Everybody is just doing things that, and I don't want to say this because I have Jamaican friends and family who I love, but if you do study the history of Jamaica, there was a time where on one side of the island, there was a crime, and there was the exact same crime happening on the other side of the island with people who never met, communities that never, came together, share ideas, sources. So it's going to come a time where each island is going to have the same crime.
Wow.
And we're going to wonder why, what's going on. But it's definitely an identity crisis. We'll get through it, but, we just got to self-reflect like the first caller said.
Wow, that's rough. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it. Wow, identity crisis. Feels like something is off. It really does. Let's hear what you have to say. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
Yeah, Dwight, we have the Privy Council because what reason again?
We've decided that they should be the final court of appeal.
Right, so why can't we use the same argument when investigating corruption within the police force? I don't think we can say that we're small and that's why we should have, but I think if we want impartiality and somewhat fairness, then I see no problem with outside investigators, especially because we have the Privy Council.
I hear you. Interesting. Yeah, I don't disagree. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah. And let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
Great. Are you soloing today?
I am, yes.
Oh, okay. You know, there's a remedy to that. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway.
We'll talk off air.
Yes, sir. First of all, I'm very proud to be a Bahamian 51 years later. And then to answer your question as to whether or not we can investigate ourselves, the answer straight up is yes. However, the ability to investigate ourselves starts with, the ability to be fair and balanced and not biased in who we select to carry out the investigation. And I think in a lot of times when we have these commissions or these persons that we put to investigate, we don't usually start with the best people. Mm-hmm. And I think that if we continue down the road where we don't get people because they are the best people for the job, we'll always have the outcomes that we have. There are people in this country that are sufficiently fair and objective and non-biased in their ability to give us the outcomes that we supposed to get. Problem is that we never start with those people. We start with the people who are going to give us the outcome that we prefer. This whole process that we're talking about right now, one of the big concerns that I have, it is believed and beginning to surface that there's sweeping removal that is taking place in a specific police department. One of the concerns that I have is if you understand policing at the level that you should, it is not possible to have policing that is not muddy. And I'm being cautious how I put this, in the sense that the very nature of investigations mean that the people who get the results in the police force, they have to interact with shady characters. Mm-hmm. There's no way around it. If you're going to solve the crime, you got to go to the people who know what happened, and you have to interact with them. You have to build relationships with those people because they're the ones, when you go through the alley, you're going to say, hey, Bobo, what's going on here? And if Bobo have a trust with you, he can give you that information. Mm-hmm. There is no way for the Royal Bahamas Police Force to function above that level. And I think that what we're missing out here is if you're going to create a police force that is sterile and sanitized like the hospital, they're going to be ineffective. The criminal investigation department, the information, when you see them come out there and tell you, we arrested such and such a person, you think they got the information to solve that problem from Grandma who in the kitchen cooking the dumplings?
All right, so I mean, I understand what you're saying. You're going to have to get dirty a little. I mean, not dirty.
And that's the conversation that we're not having, Dwight.
But does that mean that you're going to have to do criminal activities? You're going to get your hands dirty, but not be dirty. That's
Dwight,
two different things, right?
But Dwight, to the extent that the people who are having this discussion, they have no clue. They don't know how the sausage is made. And I think the Bahamian people, you want to make sure that the murder is solved. You want to make sure they find the guns. But you have to ask yourself the question that how do you expect the fella to paint the house and not get paint on his hand? And we have to walk that line carefully. To the extent that,
but that doesn't mean that he's stealing the paint, though.
No,
it doesn't mean that he's...
Exactly. I understand it, but I'm saying to you, listen carefully to this conversation. What we are saying right now is, I'm saying to you that I understand, I could be incorrect about this, but I understand that they're moving a substantive amount of people out of the criminal investigation department. If that is so, that's years of relationship that has been built on both sides of the divide, between informants and between et cetera, et cetera. You are upsetting an ecosystem that took years to build. Let's be careful of this road that we're going on.
I think people can understand the difference, John. I think, right? There's a big difference. People get it. People get it. Good cop, bad cop, we know that. But bad cop doesn't mean dirty cop. Right?
I'm not suggesting
but that's the problem. We've got a whole bunch of, apparently, we don't know the exact numbers, but apparently we've got a whole lot of very dirty cops, not just bad cops.
That's true, and I expect that to be addressed. But what I'm saying, come to my side of the conversation. I'm not asking the police force, and I'm not endorsing the police force to become a corrupt force. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, that as we navigate this very, very delicate balance of understanding what is permitted and what is not permitted, we have to keep in mind that the sausage has to be made. I'm going to leave that right there like that, but I'm just saying that a lot of people are getting into this conversation and this process that don't really understand that.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. Very interesting. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Let's see if we can squeeze these calls in really quickly before we take that break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? Had you holding too long. Let's take this one here. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi.
Yeah, you're solo this morning.
I am.
Mr. Strachan, firstly, I want to touch something that I see nobody was talking about. I'm very upset about it. A gentleman, he's halfway correct, but he's lost. I mean, and the other caller, it's really just simple. He didn't have to do all those words. He could have just said the human race is being socially engineered and snared. But I want to share this because this is of interest to all Bahamians here. Because I saw it on Google News. I was trying to call Pearly Bach yesterday to show him this. It says, Royal Bahamas Police Superintendent placed on leave amid investigation into Chicago lady at yoga retreat. Then they posted this other one yesterday, Mr. Strachan. Bahamas Police suspends high-ranking officer involved in search for missing Chicago woman. But what I'm saying is, the way how they have it worded and the way how it sounds to you, right, Mr. Strachan and me, is that they are connected when they are not. So I feel as if someone is out to really try to destroy this country, but they have nothing to do with the missing woman. I mean, do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes, and I was disturbed, so I don't know if you could just go. It's on Google News. It should still be there.
Yes, we
but
saw
they
it.
changed the two narratives, yeah, and I thought that was very, very disappointing. It's like someone is it's intentionally malicious. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, as it relates to, I was having a big argument with my oldest brother yesterday. So he surprised me, but he just asked me one question: are police human? They are human beings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they are fallible. So believing everything a police says or a police spokesman says is no different from having belief in blind science, being blind towards what they're saying. When simply I'm just saying the caller, I don't get what he's saying, because for me, right, all you have to do is make the officers accountable for their nefarious activity. That's all we're saying. We're not saying that they are holier than thou. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? This is what they have to give an account. There has to be transparency. So we shouldn't have a problem with external forces coming in to investigate us as we are a close-knit society. Mm-hmm. We can go back in archival footages and we can see numerous instances of deviation in ballistics and narratives. That's all I'm saying. So, I mean, when we could go back and see cases that were people were locked up with drugs, never went to court, never this, never that. We could see situations with officers involved. The officer caught with the gun, this going to oblivion. Mr. So-and-so son shoot at the police with the gun. Nothing never happened. These things go on all the time without even reaching the news. Everybody has a family in the police force or on the police force. So we saw an incident where Marvin Adley was said that there was no eyewitness that he went in the police bus, and then the lawyer went to the CDU unit. There's evidence that somebody said they saw him in police custody in there, and so with these type of dubiousness, right? Then why should there shouldn't be any problem with the will to show transparency and accountability. Right. That's what I'm saying. But we cannot have them investigating themselves when the investigative journalism in this country is very weak. We haven't had anybody. Wow. A couple of times during the FN administration, some administrations, they would admit and disclose some of the nature of the cases and from a complaint unit, but that's just that's an open door to oblivion. And I am 60 years old and on the 8th of August. So what I'm saying is, Mr. Strachan, for too long this was going on. Why? It's just accountability. There's nothing saying they didn't do this and they didn't do that, but it's the same thing with wearing body cams. It's like we are naive and we are being kidnapped and held hostage. You cannot speak out against anything. Mind you, with this particular scenario, some people are dead, and some of these shootings happen in broad daylight. And so it's like a rock in a hard place, Mr. Strachan. It's a state of hopelessness when the people cannot see on the money. What do you have? In God we trust, right? And that's it on the money, Mr. Strachan.
Well, on the U.S. money. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but in God we trust. But what I'm saying is, in order to trust someone, some police officers are very trustworthy because I know some of them personally. You understand what I'm saying? So I mean, but if there is evidence by just looking back decades in the newspaper and seeing a lot of things, some of us that have been forgotten. The collective memory could call in here, and each person could give an incident in which injustices was carried out.
Yeah.
There was an incident.
Okay, we got to go to the break. We got to go to the break. But I
motorbike.
appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much. We're running out of time here. But, yeah, don't lose hope, though. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. We're going to pick this up on the other side, and a lot more to talk about. We're going to get into what the family of Taylor Casey is saying as well, and not making the police force look good, knocking them when they're very much down. Hey, it's been that type of a week. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Only work at home ain't got no thrills. But what goes around comes back around. Reality slaps you in the face. Next thing you hear, goodbye my dear, and Susie yamming food off your plate. Girl, don't you know that while you are looking for sugar, someone can taste your honey? Don't you know that while you are looking for sugar, someone can taste your honey?
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley. So, how do you think President Biden did last night? Lots of reaction this morning to the president's news conference, during which he said he is staying in the race for the White House. The AP's Josh Boak.
Biden was very clear when he said that he would drop out if polling showed he couldn't win. He was very clear that others could vote their conscience and not necessarily for him. But he said so with a degree of certainty that they wouldn't. And that tells you right now about how he's feeling.
AP Washington correspondent Sagar Magani with more on the president's performance last night.
Despite growing Democrat calls for him to step aside, he insists the American people back him.
And I think I'm the best qualified to win.
Still, the president notes he does need to allay fears about his age and fitness.
If I slow down, I can't get the job done. That's a sign that I shouldn't be doing it.
Saying there is no indication of that yet, but he did make 2 flubs within 2 hours, answering the news conference's first question about Vice President Harris.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president.
And earlier at a NATO summit event with Ukraine's leader.
Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
Before quickly catching himself.
President Zelensky.
Sagar Magani, Washington.
The risk of wildfires in western states is rising, say authorities there. The unrelenting heat there has dried the land. A suspect's under arrest in Texas, charged with killing a Houston area sheriff's deputy. At the time, police were conducting a manhunt after an assault at a pizzeria. Word just in from AT&T. A security breach in 2022 compromised the data of nearly all of AT&T's cellular customers, as well as some landline accounts. This is AP News. We're not the only ones sweating in the brutal heat. The AP's Neon Kim with the heat in Europe.
A sizzling heat wave in parts of Central and Southern Europe is sending temperatures towards 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Celsius. In Italy, a red weather alert has been declared in 7 cities, including Rome. Dennis Mix is from the United States and is on a private tour in the Italian capital, which topped 100 degrees.
We just skipped one of the stops. We stayed in the van because it's too hot for us.
In Serbia, people cooled down from the 95-degree weather at public fountains. Doctors there have reported treating people collapsing due to the heat. Greece is also on high alert as authorities say the country faces its highest wildfire risk in 2 decades. It follows a largely rainless winter and spring that have left vegetation tinder dry. I'm Neon Kim.
I'm Rita Foley, AP News.
It's time for your first look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. Letting you know that on Prince Charles Drive, they've started the paving of where that water main break was. So the road's being prepared for paving, and that is causing some slowdowns as you approach that area near the Popeyes there. In your real-time traffic at this hour, we've got Milo Butler Highway seeing some slow-moving northbound traffic in the northbound lanes, of course, north of Fire Trail, straight through to Tonic Williams-Darling Highway roundabout. Blue Hill Road also busy for you near Carmichael and especially north of Soldier Road on the way to Independence Drive if you're heading northbound. Seeing a bit of congestion on Wolf Road, westbound to Blue Hill Road. At the intersection there, I know there have been some complaints about the traffic light timing, so keep that in mind if you're in that part of the island. And some building traffic on Carmichael westbound on the way to Coral Harbor Road. That's what we're seeing so far. We'll have another update for you after the 8 o'clock news. Morning Blend Traffic brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you. And time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Easy Car Sales. We've got the combination of a surface trough north of the Bahamas interacting with the mid to upper level low east of the area, along with the northern extent of a tropical wave passing south of the Bahamas that's going to generate cloudiness, along with showers and thunderstorms across the islands today. Surface high pressure will maintain moderate to occasionally fresh winds across the archipelago. We're expecting another hot day today, with heat indices in the triple digits and UV indices expected to be in the moderate to high range. Everyone's being advised to remain hydrated, limit outdoor activities, and to wear sunscreen or loose-fitting clothing. During peak daytime hours, limit outdoor activities if you can. Boaters should be alert for waterspout and funnel cloud activity as well, and there is a threat for isolated strong thunderstorms. For today, for the northwest and central Bahamas, partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy, warm and humid with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, becoming variably cloudy tonight with a few isolated showers possible. For the southeast Bahamas, a mix of sun and clouds, warm and breezy, isolated showers and thunderstorms today through tonight. Temperatures around 90 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. For your weekend, that surface trough near the northern Bahamas will lift northwards away from the area as the tropical wave to the south of the Bahamas will shift westwards. Surface high pressure along with a plume of Saharan dust will move across the islands throughout the weekend, leading to a reduction in shower and thunderstorm activity over the weekend. So for Saturday, tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, warm and a bit hazy with the chance of a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms during the day, fair and warm at night with a stray shower or two possible. Sunday, partly sunny, hot and hazy with the chance of a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms during the day, fair and warm at night with a stray shower or two possible. We'll have a closer look at the tropics in our next weather check after the 8 o'clock news. This weather check brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Whether you are a baby boomer, Generation X, Y, or Z, you can be a part of Generation E. Visit IamGenerationE.com.
RBC will find the right loan for all of you with competitive rates and extended terms to suit you. Whether it's for debt consolidation, your next vehicle, or home purchase, sometimes we all need a little more. No matter the reason for the loan, we're here to help you find the solution. RBC. RBC has all the loans for all of you. Let's start with a conversation today.
Age ain't nothing but a number, they say. Whether you're a baby boomer or a Gen X, Y, or Z, Easy Car Sales invites you to be part of the new Generation E. We drive electric for the savings, for the planet, and most importantly, for the smooth, powerful ride. You really can have it all. We love our EV, and we are Generation E. Join us. Everyone is welcome. Visit IamGenerationE.com to find out more. Brought to you by Easy Car Sales.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you're going to invest in an exotic pet, choose anything but a Norwegian forest cat. Apparently, they will eat all your jewelry. Before you know it, you're racing to the vet when your cat escapes from his carrier and lunges for your earrings. You crash and your cat swallows your pearls. But if you're smart, you'll have CG Motor Insurance and get the best comprehensive coverage for the price.
Get the best comprehensive coverage for the price. CG Atlantic Insurance Agents and Brokers. Good like that.
All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. And now at 8:25, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Here's what's happening. We've got the combination of a surface trough north of the Bahamas that's interacting with a mid to upper level low just east of the Bahamas, along with the northern extent of a tropical wave passing south of the islands. It's going to generate cloudiness, along with showers and thunderstorms across the islands today. Surface high pressure will maintain moderate to occasionally fresh winds across the archipelago as well. So we've got a number of warnings. It's going to be another hot day due to heat indices expected in the triple digits and UV indices also expected to be in the moderate to high range. Everyone's being advised to remain hydrated, limit outdoor activities, and to wear loose-fitting clothing and sunscreen when outdoors during peak daytime hours. Boaters should be alert for water spout and funnel cloud activity. And there is also the threat for isolated strong thunderstorms today. So, your forecast for today for the northwest and central Bahamas: partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy, warm and humid, with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, becoming variably cloudy tonight with isolated showers possible. For the southeast Bahamas, a mix of sun and clouds, warm and breezy, with isolated showers and thunderstorms today through tonight. Look for high temperatures around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius, 33 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. But again, the heat index likely to be in the triple digits today, making it feel a lot hotter than 90. In your extended outlook as we head into the weekend, that surface trough near the northern Bahamas will lift northwards away from the islands as the tropical wave south of the Bahamas will shift westwards. Surface high pressure along with a plume of Saharan dust will move across the islands throughout the weekend, leading to a reduction in shower and thunderstorm chances. So for Saturday, tomorrow, look for a mix of sun and clouds, warm and hazy conditions with a chance of a few scattered showers, isolated thunderstorms during the day, fair and warm at night with a stray shower or two possible. Sunday, partly sunny, hot and hazy with a chance of a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms again during the day, fair and warm at night with a stray shower or two possible. In the tropics, there's that broad area of low pressure we talked about yesterday, about a few hundred miles off the coast of South Carolina now. It continues to produce disorganized showers and thunderstorms due to strong upper-level winds. Development of the system is not expected, and formation chance through the next 7 days is pretty low. The remainder of the tropics, quiet, and tropical cyclone formation not expected during the next 7 days. That's your morning blend weather check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. It reminds you that Sherwin-Williams Paints has got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in-store today. And 8:29, time for another check of traffic brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. Again, reminding you that they're preparing Prince Charles Road for paving near the Popeyes location. So keep that in mind as you make your way about this morning. Going to find some single lane traffic and likely delays as they begin the paving work. In your real-time traffic, we're seeing some heavy traffic on Milo Butler Highway, well south of the Fire Trail roundabout from about Bellet Road straight through the roundabout, straight up in the northbound lanes to Tawny Williams-Darling Highway. Also seeing some slow-moving traffic on Blue Hill Road near Carmichael and especially north of Soldier Road on the way to Independence Drive if you're heading northbound. Elsewhere, we've got near Old Trail Road, Robinson, slow-moving traffic there westbound. And also slow-moving eastbound at the intersection with Soldier Road and Prince Charles Drive. Some congestion on the Soldier Road side as well, northbound at this hour. Otherwise, not much to talk about on this Friday morning. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you.
Hello, this Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord, it's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326-EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef. It's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
We go everywhere. Shop early at Janae's Chesapeake Road annual back to school sale going on now. Get up to 20% off on all school items in stock. Yes, all school items in stock. Shirts, jumpers, skirts, boys long and short pants, school neckties, PE shorts, and a variety of colors and school monograms. Shop early and don't miss out at Janae's Uniform Center Chesapeake Road's annual back to school sale going on now. Remember, we go everywhere. Beat the rush and save, save, save at Janae's annual sale now.
Here's the Sure-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor and paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah, we also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobby craft,
Oil shrimp,
clays.
stew shrimp, shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
Your health just got brighter with Lamp Insured. Sign up for Doctors Hospital's Lamp Insurance Supplement Plan and enjoy copay waivers and complete access with no upfront ER or inpatient collections. Only $30 per month. Visit doctorshosp.com/lamp to sign up or contact 242-822-1009. That's 242-822-1009. Your journey to affordable and worry-free healthcare begins now.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101. Age ain't nothing but a number, they say. Whether you're a baby boomer or a Gen X, Y, or Z, Easy Car Sales invites you to be part of the new Generation E. We drive electric for the savings, for the planet, and most importantly, for the smooth, powerful ride. You really can have it all. We love our EV and we are Generation E. Join us. Everyone is welcome. Visit IamGenerationE.com to find out more. Brought to you by Easy Car Sales.
RBC. RBC will find the right loan for all of you with competitive rates and extended terms to suit you. Whether it's for debt consolidation, your next vehicle, or home purchase, sometimes we all need a little more. No matter the reason for the loan, we're here to help you find the solution. RBC. RBC has all the loans for all of you. Let's start with a conversation today.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic Eckert battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 Epic. We ship also to the Family Island.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong with you on this Friday morning. We're talking about what's in the news. Okay, we want to get to some other stories, but let me just get through your text messages before we get to those. Oh boy, that's a little gross. There's a text. How can the Prime Minister, as a direction or via policy, not be about dictating to the police commissioner? What are you asking? As a commissioner, not be about what? I'm not sure what you're asking. Are you saying that by suggesting that the commissioner seek outside help, that he is dictating? What do you make it make a little more sense? What you're saying? I really hope that the police do not cover up this corruption within the police force. We're all hoping that, okay? No license plates, no spraying for mosquitoes, okay? Or taking care of the rats from the Environmental Health Department. This is all over the place. That have scores of employees lingering outside at that department. Wow. Yet I am in favor of our establishment when we walk and chew gum. It's just a lot of words. I don't know what you're saying, but okay. This is about a previous call we got. Your caller's talking about cops having to get dirty. That's foolishness. The police force in the United States solve crime through technology and forensics. You don't have to take bribes. I don't think he was saying that you have to take bribes. But anyway, this is the way things get gangster and outdated. Right. He wasn't saying that you have to be a dirty cop to solve crimes. But he's saying that sometimes the methods aren't going to be pretty. I think we get that. You don't have to get mean, but we understand that it's not going to be the nicest job in the world necessarily all the time. But some might get confused. I don't know. Okay, this person says, imagine driving the streets of London and all of a sudden 80% of the license plates disappear. A basic ubiquitous symbol or system of law and utter chaos. How do you think that would affect a society? Why would they suddenly disappear? But okay. This wasn't sudden. It's only getting progressively worse, this lack of license plate issue. And again, for some reason, the departments involved aren't saying anything. People are getting silly letters, and I hear even sometimes the police aren't honoring these letters. I don't know what that's about, but how much longer and what really is the problem? Why aren't they saying this? What is the challenge? And whatever happened to the personalized plates that they were saying that you could get? Is that what's causing part of the problem too? What is going on? Why aren't you saying anything? Okay, we'll get to lots of text about Taylor Casey. We'll get to that in a bit. And this person says the police force is too concerned. Let's go back. We need to know the terms of reference for assistance. What does that mean? People want more than assistance. They want a commission of inquiry. Do we realize that if this alleged conduct and close relationship has any truth, you could literally manipulate crime? Okay. The police speak constantly about community outreach. We also know that police have informants on the street who are less than desirable. We also understand that undercover operations bring results, but nobody accepts police being involved in crimes as part of being an effective police officer, indeed. The police force is too concerned with manipulating information as opposed to disseminating the truth. We need to stop it. Stop the manipulation of all forms of the media to muzzle discussions on murders, crime, and the alleged corruption on the police force. We need to stop it. And where is the Bar Association to speak to the possible involvement of lawyers in this mess? The lawyers involved aren't on guard and leave. I'm editing a bit. They can speak in reference to what's this, something else now? Okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting text there. Thank you very much. All right. So, hey, you can continue to text in on that if you want. But let's move on. You heard it in the news. This is getting a lot of attention from the Chicago media, of course. And yesterday, the family of Taylor Casey, family and friends, held a press conference on what would have been her birthday. And they are not saying nice things about the police force. Again, this has been a very bad month for the Royal Bahamas Police Force in terms of public relations, unfortunately. But take a listen to these reports. This first one from our Destiny Johnson.
Friends of missing Chicago native Taylor Casey are refuting claims by the Royal Bahamas Police Force that they are satisfied with their investigation. Casey's loved ones held a news conference in Chicago on her 42nd birthday. Her mother, Colette Seymour, says she is distraught and wants the FBI to lead the search for her daughter, who has been described as a fixture in the Chicago transgender community.
And I just want to say, please help us find Taylor. Everybody, senators, governors, people, and just donate to the cause. Because we need a lawyer and a PI to go over to the Bahamas and help us to find Taylor. And I just want the senators to light a fire under the people in the Bahamas' feet so they can correctly search for my child and help to bring my child home.
Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago Commissioner Precious Brady Davis says it is disheartening that matters involving LGBTQ members are not treated with a sense of urgency.
I am so sick and tired once again as we have to come together and urge for a member of our community to be found because of the plights and the blights against, in particular, Black trans women of color. We will continue to fight and advocate for Taylor to come home. I was just at the White House and advocated for the White House to advocate and to do every resource that they have in finding Taylor. She's a beloved member of her community.
Casey was last seen 3 weeks ago on Paradise Island, where she was taking a month-long training course at the Sivananda Ashram Yoga Retreat.
As soon as we set foot on that island, something didn't feel right. We knew things were off. We went from the airport right to the Criminal Investigation Department of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. And we were met with a photo op, with a press conference. We weren't met with caring detectives that wanted to give us an update on where our loved one was.
Her friend Emily Williams says they plan to meet with investigators on Friday and they will be demanding answers.
They found the phone, but they only found the phone because Taylor's niece pinged it and gave them the location. They said that they sent out scent dogs, but it came up with nothing. They said that they sent divers and came up with nothing. And what have they done since? We haven't seen it. They haven't even reviewed the CCTV footage from the neighboring Atlantis Hotel. And so we are demanding answers. We're not going to let this go.
On Monday, Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernando told reporters Casey's phone was found in 50 feet of water. He said police have conducted underwater and aerial searches in addition to searching abandoned buildings and using canines in hope of finding the missing woman. Reporting for Guardian News Network, I'm Destiny Johnson.
Wow, quite a story there. Let's get your reaction to it, folks. We had a caller earlier who mentioned how the Chicago media is framing this whole story, and mentioning that the head of CID, which is investigating the disappearance, has been placed on leave, connecting these stories, which aren't connected. But boy, oh boy, let's get your reaction. 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. You can call us toll free as well, 242-300-5720. All right, we've got a few messages. We've got a few from earlier as well. Let's see if I can find those. You might have to send those again, folks. But anyway, here's one. What more does Taylor Casey's mother want the Bahamas and the police department to do? Firstly, Casey's mother admitted that she lied about Casey's gender. She told the Bahamian people that Casey was a woman, so all of us were looking for a black woman, when the truth was Casey was a man who wanted to be a biological female. Oh, boy. Therefore, perhaps Taylor Casey may have left the Bahamas as a male while we were looking for a female. Her passport wasn't found. Surely Taylor Casey's mother should be aware that more black American females, some 20%, go missing in America than any other gender or race. Gets worse from there. Okay. The suicide rate among transgenders is also very high. The hate campaign being waged against the Bahamas by Casey's mother is wrong, and she should cease and desist. We are the Bahamian people, don't discriminate against any gender, and we will continue to search for Taylor Casey. Well, okay. Let's take this call before we get to the other messages. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well.
Very good. Thanks for the privilege for allowing me. I will not say too much to interfere with the police in doing their job. But Dwight, I am of the belief that this is staged to force the Bahamas in line with their liberal values.
What is?
Excuse me?
What is staged?
This whole ordeal, number one, it was stated in the beginning, if I remember right, that this person is a woman. Now it is not so. This person is a man.
This person's transgender.
That's
transgender.
I don't know what is transgender. I'm old now. I'm 70 years old. I don't know what is transgender. I don't
could look
even
it up.
discuss. I know male and female.
Okay.
I know in the Bahamas male and female. That's the confusion right there. That's all I know. When I was born a male boy child was given to my mother. This ball of confusion that is coming from the feminist group, effeminate men, and the liberal belief trying to force the Bahamas. If we don't be careful, we are in a big conundrum.
You know, you're mixing up a lot of different things here.
And this is coming
that's
from the UN, the United Nations, who is telling us in our preamble, in the preamble that was read just.
So if you want to have, let's
preamble
producer.
The preamble said. The preamble said.
So listen, if you want to have a conversation about transgender and all those things, that's fine. That's fine. But we're talking about a missing person here, and so I don't know if that is really relevant or appropriate for this discussion. And this is exactly what the family's talking about, right? That they hear this stuff, they see this stuff, they see the comments on the page that people like they couldn't care less because the person's transgender. And so they're like, yeah, something's wrong, and they don't get the sense that people are taking this seriously. And are they wrong? Are they wrong? Let's hear from this caller. Good morning, you're on the air. Hi, are you there? You can hear something. Turn on your radio and listen to us, please. Good morning. Oh, boy. All right. Hearing just the show. Let's see if we can take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi, good morning.
If you have any guests, good morning.
No, it's just me today. Just me and you.
Oh, okay. No Chester?
No, next week.
Listen, I understand the cry of the parents and friends and family of the missing person. Like one of your texters say, we don't discriminate. We mostly black nation, so they saying how the discrimination against black transgender persons, but they are not mentioning to their public that this person who is missing is also missing with their passport. I think that's a big thing that they need to look into. The person who is missing is actually missing with their passport, their phone that all of us thought everywhere we go was found. But the passport that is most important to any traveler was not found.
Well, I mean,
pardon?
Stolen passports, that's a big deal. People like to steal people's passports. So that could be a sign of a crime, too. Something happened.
True. Now that you say it like that, that's true. However, at the end of the day, I feel like our police force is, in my view, personally, they're a bit secretive. Like when the parents talked about the person in charge of the yoga retreat, he came back and he spoke out. Mm-hmm. And he told what was happened. Now we need for our police force to do same. Broadcast what it is that you guys did with the person, step for step, and what all that you all done far, and what it is that you intend to do moving forward.
Yeah.
You understand? That's how I feel. They don't say nothing. When people say things against them, they don't say nothing to leave us to speculate. Come open to the public. Do an international broadcast. So their media can take it up too and say what it is that has been done thus far. Don't just shut your mouth, because when you shut your mouth, people can take the silence for weakness. Don't do that.
Okay, interesting. We're going to hear from the yoga retreat, that report in a moment as well. Let's take this call. Good morning, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. A lot of background interference, though. I don't know what's happening. Okay, you got something going on with your phone. Call us back on a line with less interference. Hi, good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. Hope all is well with you this morning.
Yes. Hope for you as well.
The conversation is kind of disturbing. And although a lot of persons, especially Bahamians, do empathize, regardless of the sexual orientation of persons, because that is their preference, the only part that really baffles me is when I hear the rhetoric that it seems as if the mother of this individual would want the United States to bully a sovereign nation or bully the police force here into doing what is already claimed that they're doing the best that they can with the resources that they have, and they've come up with nothing thus far. You know, we have to get past this notion that another nation could come into this nation, although that we are a small nation compared to the United States, that they can come in and bully the government here to do things. I mean, we work in collaboration with each other, but one nation cannot come into this nation, a sovereign nation, and bully this nation into doing something that is not already being done here.
I mean,
and,
you are right
that's
entirely.
All I want to say. That's the part that troubles me the most.
But you know, I mean, think about it though. That's family. That's how you feel. You're right. You're entirely right. But we've had this before. Bahamians dying in other countries, and the people here want the same thing, right?
Yeah, want
that's
answers,
a natural reaction.
But what I'm saying, Dwight, is our rhetoric. That even though we demand properly through those diplomatic channels where we get actions from their government. We don't come public in the manner that I hear some of the rhetoric out there. Because basically what I'm saying here, Dwight, is that you're looking at stinging an entire nation as being inactive to try and solve this matter. Yes, the Royal Bahamas Police Force is representative of its people. Yes, the Bahamas government is representative of the Bahamian people. However, it is still the Bahamian people that's getting the black eye, because it seems as if they're the impression is our agencies aren't willingly doing what is sufficient to get down to these matters.
But
like I said,
Bahamians
that's
say
the
that.
only thing that bothers me.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Bahamians say that every day, though. But hey, by the way, I mean, you mentioned it. We do not know. We've never heard. That's never come up. Taylor Casey's sexual orientation has never come up. This is gender identity, which is very different. But that's never come up as far as I'm aware. Different things. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well.
I was listening to the lady from the state from Chicago comment on the news just now. I wish she would refrain from making this an issue of black or gay agenda or anything here in the Bahamas. We don't live like that. Everybody is important. They have 300 and 400 people go missing in the United States every year. And you don't hear this kind of thing which she's coming up with here about the Bahamas. Like, we pick people, we don't like this one, we don't like that one. People come here and have some of the greatest times of their life. So I wish she would refrain from that kind of statement. And even if the FBI come here, they can't take charge of the investigation. They need to work along with our police. But they don't know where to go. They don't know where to start. So she needs to watch how she's making her comments. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, let's get to the other report. This is what the yoga retreat is saying. What they're saying about, because they're hearing all of this as well. And the family's been making some serious claims about the yoga retreat. And they are speaking out. Take a listen to this report from our Vonique Toot.
Amid criticism from the family of Chicago native Taylor Casey, who went missing on Paradise Island last month, human resources consultant for the Sivananda Ashram Yoga Retreat, Peter Gowdy, insisted they have bent over backwards to answer all of the family's questions. He also applauded police search efforts, saying officers have done all they can. Casey's mother told international media outlets her visit to the retreat was unsettling, as it seemed officials did not care. The family now wants the FBI to take over the investigation.
I have admired the job that the Royal Bahamas Police Force has done. They've done everything they possibly can. And, they had divers, they had canine dogs, they had drones, they did searches, and then, we were there, we answered any questions they had, and they were invited. Nobody had to beg, and there was a word in one of the articles. Nobody had to beg. We were there from day one.
Family members and friends of Casey held a news conference in Chicago on Thursday to mark her 42nd birthday. They said in a statement her mother, Colette Seymour, left the yoga retreat and meetings with Bahamian authorities with more questions than answers. However, Gowdy insists the family was given access to Casey's tent and her journal, which she left behind.
And we sat down with them for hours and answered every question they could possibly, and nobody was holding anything back. So I don't know how they can say that, because we have bent over backwards to do everything possible for that family. It's obviously there is frustration because they can't find her. And I can understand that.
Casey arrived at the ashram on June 4th for its teacher training program. On June 17th, she reportedly told a staffer she was considering leaving the program because she wanted more free time to visit the island. She was reported missing on June 20th after she missed her 8 p.m. class and an International Day of Yoga ceremony. However, Gowdy says as far as he's aware, the American woman never ventured over to Nassau.
As best we know, she stayed on Paradise Island. We do know that she, went for, some walks because somebody had seen her coming back from, we don't know if she was at Atlantis, but that area, because you got to remember, between the yoga retreat and the Atlantis that most people know is the old Club Med, which Atlantis now owns. But that's all abandoned buildings and, there's a fair amount of property there, of course, because the Club Med, like the yoga retreat, goes from the harbor over to the beach. But we don't know. But we don't think she came over to Nassau.
When asked if the international attention Casey's disappearance has garnered has hurt business, he noted there were a few cancellations.
May have been a few cancellations, but not a big deal. But we're more concerned about people spreading, information that isn't true.
In over 50 years of operation, Gowdy said the yoga retreat has never needed surveillance cameras. However, in light of this incident, they may have to have CCTV installed.
It's totally safe.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Vonnie Tude.
Okay, we're getting a whole lot of your text messages. We're going to get into this in our next hour after the news break and a whole lot more, including that story that got a lot of people talking a few days ago about the Independence baby from 1973, and should the government assist someone like this? We're going to get into all of that and more. We're going to hear from you on all of these matters coming up after the break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Kiss was just a kiss. Touch was just a touch. Love just wasn't enough to fix this heart that's broken, to equalize it, towing you a gun. I tried urgently to prove how little I believed in bedtime fairy tales, notions of swelling, unending laughing. I've been urgently seeking love and seeking focus. Focus, please focus on me. Tell me I am everything you want and need. Please focus on me. Tell me I am great at everything with everything. Just focus. Let it be bliss when I touch you like this. Does the world exist?
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Friday, July 12th, 2024. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. All right, so we're going to take the conversations we've been having in our previous hour into this hour here. And we've been talking about the Taylor Casey investigation, the family and friends of the missing Chicago woman holding a press conference yesterday in Chicago, saying a lot of not flattering things about the Royal Bahamas Police Force and about the yoga retreat that Taylor Casey was last seen at, and we're getting your reaction to it. Previous callers have mentioned that Chicago area news organizations have been mentioning of late the fact that the former officer in charge of the Criminal Investigation Department mentioning his suspension, his leave, when discussing this disappearance, and that is definitely giving some people some possibly the wrong idea. So the Royal Bahamas Police Force issued a statement about this under the headline "Misleading Information into Taylor Casey Investigation." The Royal Bahamas Police Force wishes to inform the public that they are aware of an article and video circulating on social media which seeks to imply a correlation between the suspension of Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson, the former officer in charge of the Criminal Investigation Department, and the investigations into the missing person Taylor Casey. Police wish to advise that the information is erroneous and unequivocally unrelated to the investigation of the missing person Taylor Casey, which is still actively being investigated. The Royal Bahamas Police Force remains committed to providing quality law enforcement services to all individuals and encourages members of the public to visit its Facebook page for timely and reliable information. Okay. So we're getting your reaction to this. We played you the press conference from Chicago yesterday. We played you what the yoga retreat is saying. And you heard that from the police. Got a whole lot of your text messages to get through. And you can text us as well, 422-4796. And continue to call us, 323-6232. 325-4316, 325-4259, and call us toll-free, 242-300-5720 from the Family Islands. Let's get through these. This person says here, listening to the report on Taylor Casey, not taking anything away from the seriousness of the matter. However, why are they expecting or demanding a special investigation just because the person is trans? It is slightly annoying that almost every issue is convoluted by LGBTQ. No disrespect to this community, but they need to be a little more reserved or responsible about attributing everything as a personal attack. Okay. This person says here, no, that's exactly what the police are saying. That it has nothing to do with it. But those news organizations mentioned that the person who was leading the department that's doing the investigation has been suspended because of whatever. I don't know. Some will read things into it, likely. But of course, these are separate incidents. Yes. This person says, hey, Dwight, it looks like this story is getting worse day by day. Not a good look for the Bahamas. We're talking about the Taylor Casey one. Yeah, a lot of the stories are getting worse every day. All the stories we've been talking about for the past couple of weeks involving the police force are getting worse. Another one here. Another problem with the production of license plates, okay, this is out of nowhere, is that the paint is not iridescent. They are impossible to read at night. I think that was from the beginning. But, this text here, a call we'll get to in a second. This person says, the missing person case is being given more attention than the average missing person case in the Bahamas. You think so? I don't know about that. Anyway, people go missing in the U.S. as well and are never found also. I believe that the cell phone was found in the sea. This could indicate that she went missing in the sea. It is even harder finding people missing at sea, especially because of sharks. Okay. The weather was bad that night. You remember all of that, really? If she went out on the beach and was on the shoreline, then she might have gotten swept out to sea. I'm a boat captain, and I transport guests back and forth to Paradise Island. I've been doing that for 2 years. The villas I work for are 2 properties west of the yoga retreat. I know this beach. Swept out to sea. Boy. This texter says, wherever the incident occurred, the family would have the same issue. They expect the police to act like this is the only matter to be investigated, but they should know better, being from Chicago, where 100 people were shot last weekend. The police are working hard on this matter. Boy. Wow, let's take this call. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning. This is Strachan. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Good. Bear with me a second, please. This person is a human being, so it's a person. Whether you want to be a man, a woman, a bull man, a bull woman, damn it, business. But finding a phone 50 feet in a sea, the phone can't float and then drop. So that person had to be in that phone had to be in on some type of vehicle, on some type of a boat or something, to drop in 50 feet of water. Number one. Number two, they want this special attention for this person. We have 2 missing young Bahamian people, 117, 115 right now. We can't find right now our own. They want special attention for a big bow man.
Oh, boy.
This kind of trouble into me, man.
We
have our own little kids here. We can't find our own, man.
You're looking at this in the wrong way. This is how a family, friends would react. Right? So this is how everybody who's missing, the family of all those people, are probably feeling. Now, it's getting a lot of media attention, both locally and abroad. But that doesn't mean that this is their reaction is wrong.
No, you will feel away for your own. You will feel away.
Right, and that's what
I understand
that's what's
that,
happening.
but I'm talking about the way they're trying to talk down to our police officers, like they're running a system. Then all of a sudden now they start asking for money. I hope this is not a crank, a flying thing. They all of a sudden they start asking for GoFundMe and money thing now. All of a sudden, you see, that's another thing now.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your call. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Continue to call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, 242-300-5720. See, they probably hear those type comments and say, we'll see how everybody talks here. This shows you that they have no regard for this situation because of comments like that. That's probably what they're saying. And that's like those comments they made about as soon as they step foot on the island. I don't know if they meant Paradise Island or New Providence, but hearing people say those things makes you feel some type of way, I'm sure. This person says here, Dwight, it's the insensitivity of the general public that is crazy for me. This is someone's loved one. Gender is irrelevant at this point. Had it been a Bahamian in another country, we would want the same or more. It's not about bullying. It's wanting to find their loved one by all means and necessary. And we're working with emotions. Yeah. This texter says here, while I can sympathize with Taylor's family, can they honestly say black people in America are handled that much differently in search efforts? the family is ungrateful as many Bahamians still remain missing. I don't know if that's an odd way to look at it. Again, as the previous texter said, they're blinded by their emotions. To them, that doesn't really matter, unfortunately. This person says here, Dwight, I feel that the person who they are looking for at the yoga retreat's mother has misled our police because she did not say initially that the person they're looking for was transgender, yet she's blaming the Bahamas. I do sympathize with the fact that her daughter is missing, and I pray that the investigation comes to a successful conclusion. Okay. Let's take some calls. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, yes, good morning, Dwight. I hope you're doing well.
Yes, same to you.
Right, I'm good. Dwight, I guess as a parent, anybody would feel in a certain way. But, our two boys went missing in Italy, about 3 years ago? And we haven't heard anything. I think I read somewhere recently where the government has initiated or some kind of committee or something like that to look into the disappearance of those two young men. Up to today, we don't know how in the world two grown men who very capable of swimming was found drowned allegedly in a river. So I don't know what to say. People in times of great stress and emotion, they say all kind of things because they just want answers. But the interview that the owner of the retreat gave,
that's public relations.
Okay,
HR
or whoever.
officer.
I think he told the story quite well, and I guess it's up to every individual who hears it to believe what they think is the truth. All right, but that's my 5 cents on that. Right?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And this is unfortunately how it works in the media and in the U.S. If it's quite likely if Taylor Casey had disappeared in Chicago, would this be getting daily coverage? It's probably not likely that was going to happen because it's a different country. I'm sure that's changed the dynamics of this situation, absolutely. But, you brought up the case. I was thinking about it the whole morning, about how our reaction was initially. But something happens here. People go missing, and with a few exceptions, after a while, even the family doesn't say much anymore. And I think in some other jurisdictions, people don't stop. They do send private detectives. They do go on their own searching for answers. But it doesn't seem to be the way we deal with things here in most cases. And what is that about? That's very interesting, isn't it? Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, Dwight, I agree with the two callers back. I think it's the whole scam, because, when they start begging for money and GoFundMe pay, this thing happened to those girls in Freeport. If they didn't have camera in Freeport, they'll do the Bahamas? This is scam, man. That's what I think it is. I'll sit back and listen.
Oh, boy. Okay. That's an interesting theory there. They're saying they want money to hire lawyers and detectives, right? But scam. Wow. Okay. Let's read some more messages. Also, this is the second person that has gone missing from. Oh boy, is it? I've never heard this part before. Second person gone missing from a yoga retreat. What's really going on? Also, the hotel feeds sharks in that area. What? In the water? Really? What I'd like to know... Oh, okay, this is getting crazier. What I'd like to know is who dove 50 feet into the water to find that phone, I guess, which is physically impossible for any normal human being to withstand that depth. professional deep divers only go 50 feet deep. Something's not quite right. I'm sure that number is a little off. But hey, the caller said we can't find our own. Well, blow me down. What's that say to us and about us? Yeah. This texter says they have every right to make that connection that things aren't getting done because of gender identity, because our country is known for having issues with LGBTQ individuals. And every time she's brought up how she identifies in terms of gender follows. Her gender is not important. This is a human life. Another text here. While we are in a celebratory mood over our 51st anniversary of independence, have you noticed how our national colors are being skewed? Okay, this is out of nowhere. From aquamarine, gold, and black. There should be some kind of regulation against displaying our flag in any other hue. On another note, why are the garbage collectors removing the garbage bins a day before they collect the garbage? This is causing dogs to have a field day. That's happening? Really? A day before? Okay. With all due respect, oh boy, you can't expect everyone to engage in the delusion of the concept of transgender. I, as a young person, can understand why the older generation will not accept these beliefs and ideals. Or I think, and I think you should accept their beliefs as well. Okay, I don't know, but I'm just saying. You think I should accept their beliefs as well? Hey, believe what you want to believe. Just saying. That don't be surprised when people hold that against you and say things about you and your country because they hear people talk like that. So, but you can believe what you want. Carry on smartly. Absolutely. This person says here, just a few weeks ago with the Italy case, Fred Mitchell said the investigation is complete. He's in possession of the file. It contains some sensitive information. The family is free to look at the file, then decide if they want it to be made public. Okay. This text here, private detectives and a continued search over a period of time can be costly. Some people simply don't have the means to continue looking for answers. That is true. That is true. That's a very good point. You're right about that. Continue to call in, folks, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. All right, what we're going to do, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I've been meaning to talk about this for a few days. I didn't want to do it before independence because it's kind of not the most flattering story, but many of you have already responded to a story on Guardian, the Guardian News Network, on our social media pages about a man born on July 10th, 1973, and the hardship that he's facing. Let's talk about it on the show when we get back. This is Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're going to be back. Stay with us.
A kiss was just a kiss. A touch was just a touch. Love just wasn't enough to fix this heart that's broken, to equalize it, towing you a gun. I tried urgently to prove how little I believed in bedtime fairy tales, notions of swelling, unending laughing. I've been urgently seeking love and seeking focus. Focus, please focus on me.
51 years of Bohemian pride, a vibrant rhythm, a symphony of resilience. We've grown from bankers to neighbors to friends. Together, we build a future as bright as our sun. I am 242. You are 242. We are 242. Scotiabank is proud to be Bahamian.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit cfal.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it, just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit cfal.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And I say, boy, my island's in the sun, 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 sun. Bring it up now. And I say, boy, my island's in the sun. Carnival time is here. First when I turn to party, this drunk and they got me wet. So, boy, my island's in the sun. Carnival time is here. We could be waking, scraping, winding up and misbehaving.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Shadow Minister for Finance Kwesi Thompson says F&M members of Parliament in the House of Assembly and elsewhere pleaded with the government to get small business vendors paid timely. And now a recent International Monetary Fund report has pointed out that the government's lack of proper debt and cash management is leading to cash crunches, which causes a buildup of payments. The IMF report notes that there is a sustained reliance on the overdraft facility and advances from the central bank, while arrears on payments to suppliers sometimes accumulate, and that these factors pose impediments for the formulation and the orderly execution of annual borrowing plans. Well, Thompson noted that the report strongly supports the sentiments of the small contractors who live in constituencies that F&M members represent who cannot get paid on time. He said the government must fix this issue to ensure small businesses doing business with the government are paid and paid on time, and the government must find active solutions to this issue. Read more about this in today's Guardian Business section. The Bahamas is being recognized for its thorough regulation of the cryptocurrency technology tool known as staking in its newly revised DARE Act, the Digital Assets and Registered Exchanges Act. In a white paper developed by crypto security firm Solidas Labs called Navigating Risks in the Staking and Block Building Ecosystem, its authors contend that the Bahamas has produced one of the most comprehensive regulatory documents for staking globally, and that the Bahamas should be noted as one of the jurisdictions which proposed the most specific and detailed definitions and regulatory framework for staking, and specifically staking on behalf of clients. Overseas, wholesale prices in the United States rose by larger than expected rose by about 2.6% last month from a year earlier, a sign that some inflation pressures remain high. The increase, the sharpest year-over-year increase since March 2023, comes at a time when other price indicators are showing that inflation has continued to ease. The Labor Department said today that its Producer Price Index, which tracks inflation before it reaches consumers, rose 0.2% from May to June after being unchanged the month before. Excluding food and energy prices, which tend to bounce around from month to month, so-called core wholesale prices increased 0.4% from May and 3% from June 2023. The increase in wholesale inflation last month was driven by a sizable 0.6% rise in services prices, led by higher profit margins for machinery and wholesale auto wholesalers. By contrast, the overall prices for goods fell 0.5%. Gasoline prices tumbled 5.8% at the wholesale level, and food prices also dropped. J.P. Morgan Chase's profits jumped sharply in the second quarter as the bank cashed in billions of dollars of its holdings in Visa Inc. But the bank's results were also helped by higher interest rates as well as consumers who seem to still want to spend despite geopolitical and economic uncertainties. The U.S.'s biggest bank by assets Friday today, posting a profit of $18.15 billion, up 25% from a year earlier. On a per-share basis, J.P. Morgan earned $6.12 per share, which beat analysts' estimates. And the data of nearly all customers of telecommunications giant AT&T was downloaded to a third-party platform in a 2022 security breach. The company saying today that cyber attacks against businesses, schools, and health systems continue to spread globally. The breach hit customers of AT&T's cellular customers of mobile virtual network operators using AT&T's wireless network, as well as its landline customers interacting with those cellular numbers. AT&T said it currently doesn't believe that the data is publicly available. The company investigation determined that compromised data includes files containing AT&T records of calls and texts between May 1st, 2022 and October 31st, 2022. AT&T's more than 100 million customers in the U.S. and almost 2.5 million business accounts. Closer to home in your Market Watch recapping trading on the BISX from Thursday, your market movers. Commonwealth Bank moving 4,290 shares, closing unchanged at $5.22. Consolidated Water up 26 cents to $5.27. Emira Incorporated up 15 cents, closing at $8.28. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 2,936.12, up 0.42. That's your Market Watch, and that is your Morning Business Report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
And I say, boy, my island's in the sun, 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 sun. Bring it up now. And I say, boy, my island's in the sun. Carnival time is here. Cause when I turn to party, the Strachan they got me wet. So, boy, my island's in the sun. Carnival time is here. We could be wake and scraping, winding up and misbehaving.
We're back here with Morning Blend Business on this Friday morning during Independence Week here in the Bahamas. And this story last week at this time really got a lot of people worked up about one of the first people born in the Bahamas under the new country, the independent Commonwealth of the Bahamas, July 10th, 1973. His family says the government, the country should be doing more for him. If you missed it, and I'm sure you didn't miss it, but if you did, take a listen to this story. I want to hear from you all. What do you think about this report from our Destiny Johnson?
He's trying to cover my head now. He need help. He really need help. He don't have a place to live. He live in a one-bedroom place. And if they could, they need to reach out and please help my brother, the independent. What are they doing for him? And this is bad.
50-year-old Shivago Lyndon Cooper, who was born on July 10, 1973, is calling on the government for assistance and to be honored. Cooper, who is a father of 3, has been unemployed for years due to a leg injury and was homeless for some time.
I really want my, I have 3 daughters. 3 daughters. And they don't know nothing for me. I didn't want nothing for me, but I have 3 daughters. I have 4 grandchildren. Oh, I used to do talent and growing, and I used to don't wear no knee pad and then mess up my foot.
Okay, so how?
And then my leg, I been in a fight, nigga, break my leg.
Cooper says former Governor General Sir Milo Butler, his wife Carolyn Butler, and Loftus Roger's wife were in the delivery room while he was being born. Cooper's mother received a silver spoon and a $1,000 check. His sister Tanya Fernandez says they have previously reached out for assistance from the government, but to no avail.
And now here we are, another independence. And I thought they have statistics of everybody in the Bahamas, so they would know whether he's alive or whether he's dead. One time they told me the baby boy is dead. But when I watch Independence Celebration, I watch them celebrate other people. But this is the Independence baby of the Bahamas, 1973, first baby boy born. And they don't even check for him.
She says she has been taking care of him since his injury.
He has a hernia, he had a broken leg, he had bad feet, he can't work. I've been taking care of my brother for many years now. My mom has passed on.
Cooper and Fernando are pleading with the government for the assistance and recognition they say he deserves.
I'm really calling on the government to do their part because I only could do so much. I have a family of my own, and I only could do so much. And I really want them to recognize him and give him the recognition that he deserves as the independence baby of the Bahamas, this independence, saying that they missed the big shebang.
Please. Just not for me, for my children and my sister. She struggled with me. Yeah, my sister loved me.
20 people, 11 females and 9 males, were born in the Bahamas on that day, according to figures from the Registrar General's Department. They were born on July 10, 1973, when the population was estimated at 189,900, according to the then Department of Statistics. Reporting for Guardian News Network, I'm Destiny Johnson.
Okay. So, wow. I heard that on the weekend. It was shocking. Then it's getting even more times you listen to it, it's even more shocking. But you all don't want to hear from me. I need to hear from you on this. Let's get your reaction. What should be happening here? What do you think? 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. I just want to know. So we're saying that, if you're born on July 11th or 12th, 1973, and you're living like this, oh, well, you're on your own. But because it's July 10th, 1973, the country owes. I'm just asking. Just let me know. Let's hear from you, caller. What say you?
Dwight, good morning again. Dwight, I believe that irrespective of whatever date that you are born on, the preamble said that your life should not be one of deprivation.
Mm-hmm.
Any Bahamian, I don't care what date that they're born on, should not be living under squalid conditions when we can find money to do all kind of foolishness with. 2.3 million. Take some of that money, help the man if he's able to be employed. I'm to give him some kind of employment because I'm sure he's willing to work. If he can't use his feet, maybe he can use his hands. Okay, but no Bahamian, no one. We had a sovereign wealth fund that was dissolved. We are giving these MPs $150,000 a year, which we don't know what.
But there are all kinds of programs, though. So I don't know. The story doesn't say whether they've tried or if he's receiving assistance. But it sounds like they are expecting special assistance because
I do
because
believe
of the
that
date.
as the first independent born baby in the Bahamas, some recognition should be given to him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my brothers, my last brothers were triplets. They were the first triplets to be born in the Bahamas in 1963. Okay, and nobody remembers that, and not that I want them to, but I think some recognition should be given to him, being the fact that he was the first baby to be born in independent Bahamas.
Sounds like he got that on July 10th, 1973.
But now look back and say, well, yes, he is in need of help. That's the bottom line. The man is asking for help. He is asking for the nation to come out and assist him. Okay, and I don't think any Bahamian should be begging our government for assistance.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And well, that is the truth, absolutely. But not because of the date you're born on. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Got a few of your text messages here. Oh boy, no, that's not nice. I can't read this. But I'm wondering it myself, texter, but I'm not going to read that on the air, but you're in my head. My God. This one says here, we owe this independence baby nothing. He should have worked and provided for himself and his family. Store up for your children and their children. Stop. Wow. This person says here, what is the criteria for assistance? Can't say find a job because he can't work. Yep, I hear you. This person says here, that's the height of entitlement. The government owes him nothing. I am fuming listening to that. And this text here before we get to that call, it's a sad story, and Mr. Independence Baby deserves help because he's a Bahamian in need. But I think it sounds like the recognition already came to his parents on his birthday. Yeah. Let's take this call. Caller, what say you on this?
Hi, yes. Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well.
Good, and good morning to the nation. Dwight, while I sympathize with the gentleman's position and everything, I personally don't believe that it is the government's responsibility when people fall these kind of predicaments and stuff to pay no special privilege to no one person because of the date that they were born. Because we have a nation of people who are going through. There are some people who are in far worse position than them, and so what is the government supposed to do about them? So are we supposed to now say that the government is supposed to select persons based on their birthday and give them special assistance and special attention and everything? If you're going to do it for one, you should do it for all. And furthermore, that is why we have family members. We just need to get back to being our brother's keeper in terms of, when you understand that somebody in the community have problems. I remember when, if you had problems, back in the day and your neighbor baked 2 loaves of bread, they bring you one for your family because, are you down or you having issues or challenges. Families need to be more close-knitted than they are. Everybody is like they're in a survival mode and everybody's trying to survive for themselves. So nobody's really looking out for anybody like that anymore. But I personally don't believe that the government should have to, because of your birthday, give you any special privileges or anything like that, because, we have a nation full of people who are going through. All right? So, I think it would be unfair to pay any special privilege to any one person because of their birthday.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah. And again, there is government assistance. People can get that. Should there be something beyond that? Boy, this person says here, why does he want a handout? Why does he have kids if he can't work? People need to learn to work and save. I'm sorry he's injured, but there's lots of nonprofits who can help. Well, This other text, this is exactly what is wrong with this country. We're so entitled and dependent on the government. That is taxpayers' money. Social services and disability pay is available. Right, that's what I was saying. This person says here, nonsense. When will it end? Are we still supporting those other 51-year-olds as well? This is stuff of editing. Gotta stop. All the elderly with real needs are being neglected. Elderly, young, other poor individuals. Yeah, we've got a lot of people in need. How much would $1,000 in 1973 be worth today? Well, Google can tell us. Well, I'll Google it while we take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Turn on your radio for us, please.
No problem.
Are you there?
Did you hear me better?
Yes, that's better.
Yeah, I was listening to talk show. I was listening all the time. But I believe, I know, that the problem ain't even entitlement. We have another problem. And the only way to solve it is through Him. We have a God problem. You know, we lack God. We forget God. You know? I see that to be the problem. The Father says, no one can come to me unless the Father draws him to me. That's what Jesus Christ says, Son of the Father. And then I raise him to life. Because we forget God, we don't understand what really matters. And we don't know what value is. Only true value and morals come from God. When we lost that, we lost everything. Country will continue to decline until we remember God, repent from being evil, and go back to the Father, seek Him. He gave us all knowledge and truth. But Jesus Christ said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. We will never change. I'm a man. I'm 37 years old. We will never change or never be better until we put God first.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for that inspiring word. Thank you. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, man, how you doing?
Doing well. How about you?
All right. Yeah, everything blessed up. Yeah, man, I agree. Well, you know, just like the caller before the last, we have the regular social services where you can go to and get assistance every month. Just like the regular people with hurting and disability assistance with people that get from the government. But the country don't really owe him nothing like that. He got his $1,000 when he born, and his food basket and all the perks and everything like that. I know someone was born on January 10th, 1967. I know someone who born on Black Tuesday. I know someone who born on the 25th of December. We must pay them too. Everything just because the date they born. No, man, we don't really owe him nothing like that. He got it when he born. So you just go to social services and get the regular assistance, and then Walter Hunchel and this one and that one, the regular assistance from them. But the country don't really owe him nothing because he's the first independent baby.
Yeah.
No, man,
Okay.
That's what they tell you now. Prepare for rainy days, man. You got to prepare for rainy days and stuff and hurricane.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I Googled it, $1,000 in 1973, the equivalent today. That's a good amount of money. $7,073.63 as of today. 7,000. Wow. Okay, that's pretty impressive. Good boy. Let's read some more messages before we get to that other call there. This person says here, I was born Christmas Day. I need help also. Laid off, I got a bad leg, but I have to try and help myself. Good luck. This one says here, why should his date of birth dictate that I help him over and above anyone else that needs help? Much to do with his and his family's lifestyle and choices. I'm sure there was a plaque, flowers, and some baby supplies given back in 1973. Cultivation of this culture of entitled lazy Bahamians is on the rise. You can't walk the streets anymore without people asking for a handout. Yeah, that is getting much worse. Much worse. Wow. This person says here, many times men, in particular in this country, live their lives how they want, irresponsibly at times, and become a burden on their family. Daughters have not, his daughters have not taken responsibility of him. I wonder why. Oh boy, this is not nice. The government's extent of helping him is in social services and disability. His birth date is not a right for special privileges. Wow. This person says here, the Bahamas has become about traditions and ceremonies. With that comes all manner of problems and complications. This gentleman can be offered an opportunity to be trained and occupy a job that doesn't require him to be on his feet much. There are plenty of individuals in public service that are not supposed to be there, and then there are those who were also given the opportunity to occupy jobs that don't require standing or walking. I don't believe he should be given a handout, but an opportunity to do something. Plenty of women on Facebook are getting emotional or giving emotional feedback, and because they are female, we have to show compassion to men too. I agree they handled the press interview wrong, but we have to empower through giving people opportunities. Okay, well, sure. It doesn't have to be the government. If somebody has a job for him, hit up the news team. They probably can tell you how to get into contact with him. This person says here, why was this on the news? I mean, it's a very interesting story. You don't have to agree with it. It's just very interesting that in all manners, it's just fascinating the way people think. And, people do ask around independence whatever happened to the first baby born in the country. People ask that all the time. This is not what I think anyone expected. One of the first people born in the new country of the Bahamas. This is not how they expected the person would end up. No, not at all. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi.
Yeah, I'll make this quick. My Grammy died in front of me on the first Majority Fool's Day. The first time they ever celebrated, but I think it was actually on the 14th because it was the first Monday. But, I think he deserves the recognition, but, I agree with everybody else. But the last text, though, I thought that was a brilliant text. I think he could be trained and be given something to do, seeing that he's incapacitated. But what happens is, I am upset with the way people was responding to this because they didn't hear the positive part. He said that he used to do Thailand, all right, and he used to work. So, why knock him? He was incapacitated, as I do trade work also, Dwight. When you use a certain part of your body, it's just like a basketball player. That tends to give you problem. So maybe he should have been more clairvoyant, but he is now in this position. He's in this predicament, and he's incapacitated. So why finish further, push him down? It doesn't sound right. Maybe a GoFundMe, and the last text I highlighted, he could be trained in some area. He was a tradesman in Thailand. Maybe he could facilitate that at BTVI in some kind of way with his experience. Given something to do, a source of self substance or significance in this life. But to sit down and knock, I don't think the government owes him anything. But just as to say he's still alive and he was the first baby, some assistance should be given, and just a better way to make him feel uplift himself. I don't know what his children are, but it could happen to me. It could happen to anybody. I have money saved, but you really think it's enough for the rest of my life, right? Understand me? You all being deceived, man. If the average person who have $1,000 in their bank book, what you understand what I'm saying? I might have more than that, but you think that's comfortable? Come on, man.
Interesting.
Let's show some love. Give thanks. It's just only flesh,
Yeah.
He say he used to work. Give thanks. Yeah, man.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Wow. As Texas says, Dwight, nobody asked what happened to the first independence baby. I've never, ever thought about it. Well, that's not true. People think about it. Come on. Now, wouldn't that be an interesting documentary if you met all that article, that report said 20? That's a lot. 20 people, 20-something people? Wouldn't that be interesting? You found out about all 20-some of them. What if they all are doing horribly? What does that say about the Bahamas? What if it's a mixed bag? Some are doing very well, some are not doing well. I think it would be fascinating. So, in fact, I would love to work on that documentary. Let's bring them all together. Let's find out about each one of them. I think that would be something for the ages. Oh, boy. Let's read these. Let's take that call before we go. We got running out of time. Caller, you have the final word here before I read these text messages. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Strachan.
How you doing?
I'm wondering now, does this person looking for, I heard they said they need a little financial thing, but I get it more of a gathering of they wanted to be more being recognized
No.
at an independence celebration. That is what I take from it.
No.
Now, they might want a little perk, but I think it's more being recognized as a first. You know, at every independent event, I think they figure, even though he may be in a wheelchair or whatever, he should still be recognized as the first male born. That's what I think from that.
No,
I mean,
that wasn't it.
I have another cousin.
That's
Donald
part of it, but
Cox
that's not all of
is
it.
born on that day.
Oh, yeah? 73?
Yeah, Donald Cox is born on that day.
How's he doing?
Donald is well. Donald is well, man. Donald is a good fisherman. He's from Cricket Island.
Okay.
He's
Wonderful.
born, and I see him out just about every day. That's one can't lie about his age, because he's 51, and he's just out of country go, he go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to hear that. I'm glad that he's doing well. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for calling. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's read these before we go. This person says, I'm sorry for the guy, but social services was created for people in need. He has to be upset with his family for not helping him as much. Oh, boy. Okay. This person says here, no, man, y'all getting very, very mean. Ask his mom what they did with all that money. Well, I mean, come on. 51 years, $7,000 not going to last you, even though it was $1,000. That's not going to last you long. Come on. 84,000. What? No. How'd you get there? No. What? 1,000 then is now 7,000. That's the equivalent to 7,073. So if you gave me a check for $1,000 in 1973, today that would be like giving somebody a check for 7,000. Some. They said if they'd invested all of that, invested 7,000. No, but it was 1,000 in 1973. Anyway, they could have had why would they have done that? Come on now, you have a new baby, you got diapers and all kinds of stuff to buy, so that's not reasonable to expect that. And this final text here. This can't be for us. Is this for us? What is this text? I'll ask Erin if she can understand what that means. But anyway, it's been an interesting discussion. But I think that we should do this. We should do a documentary on all the people born July 10th, 1973. Let's see if they represent what the Bahamas is right now